Hello, my name is David Miller with McCulloch Miller, an estate planning and probate law firm in Houston, Texas. Right now, we're in the middle of the NFL playoff season, and I thought it appropriate to comment on a recent article I saw related to the Houston Texans. On January 10th, an article was published entitled, "Houston Texans owner is fighting son's claim that she is incapacitated and needs a guardian." The article describes how Robert McNair Jr. is seeking guardianship over his 87-year-old mother, who is also the owner of the Houston Texans. His mother and his brother, who is the CEO of the Texans, responded by saying that they were shocked by her son's drastic and unwarranted measures of alleging his mother's incapacitated, seeking to terminate her rights, and appoint himself as her guardian to control her personal, financial, and medical decisions. The article then goes on to describe how they are fighting the guardianship. So what is guardianship? As the article describes, guardianship is a legal process where the court will actually terminate somebody's civil liberties and their rights. In doing this, the court will also appoint a guardian who will actually control the financial, legal, and medical decisions over the person that needs guardianship, or what's also known as the ward. In doing this, the court has to make two major decisions. First, is the person incapacitated and in need of a guardian? And second, who is that guardian going to be? This process can be fraught with peril. First of all, a court can make the wrong decision as to whether guardianship is needed. That means they could appoint a guardian over somebody who is not actually incapacitated and doesn't need a guardian, or alternatively, they could fail to provide guardianship over someone that is incapacitated and actually needs somebody to look after them. Secondly, the court has to decide who that guardian is going to be, and this can lead to all sorts of internal family strife and litigation as to who the appropriate guardian is going to be. Finally, this can result in a guardian being appointed who is not actually looking out for the best interest of the ward, but is in fact trying to commit some sort of fraud or malfeasance on the estate of the guardian. Now, I don't know any of the details or facts related to the issues related to the Houston Texans and whether or not Mrs. McNair needs a guardian. But one can imagine that when you're talking about a multi-billion-dollar franchise like the Houston Texans, there is plenty of room for some sort of malfeasance or improper motivation over who is going to control the Houston Texans and the family's wealth. I hope that the courts get it right, and more often than not, the courts do get it right, but this could be a very drawn out, painful process that could potentially rip a family apart. Guardianship is actually litigation, and because of that, it is public, it's expensive, and it can be a very painful process. Worst of all, it can lead to the wrong result. At McCulloch Miller, we pride ourselves on being a guardianship avoidance law firm, and we work with our clients to find ways and use the legal tools available to avoid guardianship, or at the very least, make it less painful and more likely to result in the correct result. If you have questions about guardianship or guardianship avoidance, please contact our law firm for a consultation.